Did you really think that I would let 2024 end and not count down my top 25 favorite records of the year? You fool. I'm Kevin. I listen arguably too much music, and let's start with number 25. Just barely squeaking in is Bright Eye's new album, 5 Dice, All Threes, coming in at number 25. Coming in at 24 is the collaborative album from two legendary Canadian acts, Rick White and the Sadies. Hanging out at a cool 23 is Phosphorescent and his new record, Revelator. And number 22, we have Bonnie Light Horseman and their double album, two different albums packaged together, I don't know. But it's called Keep Me On Your Mind and See You Free, and it's at number 22. One of the things I was hoping for in 2024 was the return of legendary indie folk band The Decemberists, and they delivered their new album, As It Ever Was, So It Will Be Again. That's a mouthful, sitting at 21. My 20th favorite album of the year was produced by Big Thief, bringing a legendary folk singer-songwriter to a wider audience. That's Tucker Zimmerman and his record, Dance of Love. I'm really excited to have a few new acts in this list, including number 19, Freako, with their album, Where We've Been, Where We Go From Here. One of the things that really hit me hard in 2024 was the 20th anniversary of so many great pivotal albums for me. But 2004 and that era reigned supreme again with not only the Decemberists, not only Bright Eyes, but also my favorite, Iron and Wine, and this new record, Light Verse. Sitting at number 17 with her best album yet is Soccer Mummy and the record Evergreen. I know what you're thinking, Kevin, where's the shoegaze records? I need the vaguely shoegaze albums. Well, here's number 16, Dive with Frog in Boiling Water. Somehow we're already at number 15 and we've only had one Canadian album and no post-punk records. I'm ashamed of myself. Let's fix that right now with Cola and their album, The Gloss. This year I returned to my hometown and went to my old record store. The guy there remembered me and highly recommended this album by Rosalie called Bite Down. And then, like a month later, I saw her play at Folkfest. It was great. So shout out to Larry at Second Thoughts for this great recommendation, sitting at 14. If there's one theme to this year, it's album titles that are long and or confusing, that are hard for me to say, especially in a video where I'm trying to count down quickly. And that is no truer than in the new Father John Misty record, his best album since 2018. It is called Mahash Mashana. Mahash Mashana. I don't know how to say it, but it's really good. Check it out. To put it mildly, 2024 was a pretty divisive year. But one band united multiple generations together. I'm talking about the debut album from The Last Dinner Party. They had the baby boomers. They had the Gen Z kids. They even had us cool millennials. And probably some Gen Xers, I don't know, listening to their first record, Prelude to Ecstasy, sitting at number 12. Sitting at number 11 is the self-titled debut album from the supergroup featuring Matt Sweeney, Stephen Malkmus, two other dudes. It's The Hard Quartet. In these past 6 weeks or so, as I've been listening to all the albums throughout the year, one record has been rising on my list steadily. It'll probably keep going higher and end up in a Rat Boys situation like last year. Rat Boys, I'm so sorry. You guys should have been way higher than you were. This album, Into the Burning Blue by Trace Mountains, probably the same situation, but at least it cracked the top 10. Trace Mountains, Into the Burning Blue. Making their third appearance on these yearly lists is Chicago band Dead and their new album, Poetry. Okay, so super quick story time for you. A few years ago, I was at Winnipeg Folk Fest, and I was there to see a set from Saskatchewan band Casey and Clayton. As I got to the stage a little bit early to secure a spot up front, the previous band was finishing up, and I couldn't believe how good they sounded. This year, that band released a new album, and I'm excited to include it on my list. In fact, it's a Winnipeg band. It's called Field Guide. The record, it's very good. Check it out. It's Rootin' For Ya. We've reached the part of the list where I have to eat a little bit of crow. I've talked a lot of shit about this band, Fontaines DC. I've said that they're boring. I've said, in fact, they're so boring they sound uninterested in their own music. But for some reason, I can't remember why, I listened to this record on a whim. And it's a post-punk masterpiece, sitting at number 7, Fontaines DC. I'm so sorry, guys. Romance. 2024 saw the return of Jack White and his album No Name. He came out of nowhere. He dropped this album unexpectedly, and it's his best album since Lazaretto in 2014, at least Lazaretto. Check it out if you haven't, but you probably already have. It's that good. Jack White, No Name. You're a human being with a heart. That means you love jangly guitars. And there's no guitars more jangly than my number 5 favorite record of the year, Canada's very own Ducks Limited, and their album, Harm's Way. This is my 4th favorite album of the year. It's Cindy Lee and the record Diamond Jubilee. Here's the thing. It's not actually out physically yet, so I'm not actually holding it hands-free. It's a really solid listen. If you haven't listened to it yet, just go in completely blind. Yes, it is very long, but that's part of the charm of the record. No album sounds like this record. Some of my favorite guitar playing of the year. Diamond Jubilee by Cindy Lee, sitting at number 4. In 2017, Waxahachie, aka Katie Crutchfield, dropped an album called Out in the Storm, and I said, this album can't be topped. And then in 2020, Katie Crutchfield dropped another Waxahachie record called St. Cloud. And I said, this record can't be topped. And here I am, looking like an idiot for a 3rd time in a row. Waxahachie, Tiger's Blood, featuring an all-star band, including MJ Lenderman. Check it out if you haven't listened to it. The songs are amazing. They stand on their own. Waxahachie, Tiger's Blood, number 3. What can I say about my 2nd favorite album of the year that hasn't already been said? Manning Fireworks by the great MJ Lenderman. My favorite concert of the year as well at Minneapolis First Avenue. Incredible album, incredible songwriter, incredible guitarist. Check it out. You probably already have, but if you haven't, make sure you thank me afterwards. MJ Lenderman, Manning Fireworks. Coming in at number 1, my favorite record of the year, Bright Future, by the fantastic, the incredible, the greatest songwriter of our generation, Adrianne Lenker. This album is just, every song on it breaks my heart and is beautiful. In fact, the first song breaks my heart so much, I generally skip it unless I'm like emotionally prepared for it, which I almost never am. It just hits you that hard. Listen to this record. It's beautiful. Adrianne Lenker, I truly think she's the best songwriter of our generation, of my generation, probably your generation. I don't know what generation you are, because you are a phone on a tripod. It's a great record. Listen to it. Listen to all 25 of these albums. Let me know what you think. Did I miss anything? Did I overlook anything? Did I rate that Trace Mountains record too lowly? Probably. Drop me a comment, let me know, and I will see you again in 365-ish days for my 25 favorite records in 2025.